Welcome to Landria Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. I got something to share with you. All right, I'm going to do a little exercise with you. I would like you to close your eyes, and when you do this, I want you to take a moment and think about the human race in general and other people. So let's do that just for a moment. Just close your eyes and think about other people. Maybe a certain person or certain persons will pop in right away. And what are your feelings about that? Is it maybe you see your boss and like, there's a horrible feeling, or maybe you just have a happy feeling, or maybe you just think, gosh, this is just a screwed up world. And people are this and people are that. So take a moment and do that. How do you really feel? How do you really feel? Not how you think you should feel. How do you really feel? And come up with that answer, because the way you feel about other people, that is your vision of the world. That is usually a reflection of yourself. I know. You're probably thinking, no, it's not. People are jerks and I'm really, this great person. Well, when you're in a happy state of mind, when you're at a peaceful place, you will see the goodness in others. And even when they're doing stupid stuff and saying stupid things, you will tend to see somebody who is struggling in a dense place who's probably unhappy. You won't be thinking about what they're saying. You're just going to say, wow, there's some deep stuff going on there. There's density. There is, frustration, anger. That person is lost. And hopefully you just send them blessings and walk away from them. You got to get away from it. It's not your problem to solve. Because every once in a great while, maybe like less than 1%, it's even 0.01% of people that see my ads. I have an internet marketing ad. You'll see it pop up here. It pops out. It just trains people on how do you use the internet to create income, to get yourself out of working so hard, to create extra income, to take whatever you've got and put it online. You don't even have to have your own products and services. It's really that awesome. It changes people's lives. So I have an ad that you probably saw. It runs, and it's very direct. And I speak from my heart, and it addresses law of attraction. And the message is, law of attraction is great, but if you don't get off your duff and go take the action, the universe is constantly giving you opportunities. It's knocking on your door. If you don't get up and open that door, then you are not really implementing the law of attraction. Law of attraction means there's action that has to be fueled behind that. So that's what I say. Well, I will once in a while get a very, very angry person will email me, contact me off my website and say some really strange stuff like, oh, you irritate me, you're obnoxious, you're an angry person. And I thought, wait a minute. I'm an angry person, and then I read this email that's full of anger, and by the way, these people will take the time to email me, and I don't have that kind of time. I'm focused on responding to the people who want help, doing the things that I can do that are of a positive nature. And I got one today from somebody who was giving me a lecture on the ad. Well, that ad happens to be the #1 performing ad, and it still is. It hits home, and the response I get is always so positive. People say, yeah, my gosh, you spoke to me. That made sense. Yes, I need to take action. And then you'll get that small percentage of people that just have a negative reaction. They see and hear what they want to according to how they see the world and how they see other people. There's no compassion there. And their ego is definitely at work. Their ego wants to strike out, strike back, and they're going to tell you and this and that, and they don't even know me. And obviously don't watch my channel, because if they actually bothered to watch my channel, they would see that, I'm not a little wallflower. I speak very directly, And it's either going to resonate with you or not, or there's some very, Eckhart Tolle is out there. Speaks very softly, and that's Eckhart Tolle style. So we all have our thing that we gravitate toward, but I just want you to really keep those feelings in check, really watch them, and ask yourself how you're reacting to the world, especially the people outside of you, and what is it that's triggering negative feelings? What is it that makes you want to rebel against that, debate against it, get angry or whatever? What is that? And this one particular person actually called me a couple names that were really nasty. And I realized she was thinking that about herself. She was thinking it about herself. And I thought, that's where she's coming from. She's reflecting what she's feeling. And she wanted to be an authority and tell me what to do. And I thought, wow, is that interesting that this person, instead of being home, and by the way, it's Sunday, instead of focused on whatever she needs to do to help her clients or whatever else she's doing, is writing these emails to me to tell me off. So there's somebody in a very deep, dark place. And I just told her to move on in a very nice way, but basically was fascinated by what really motivates people. And it's the ego is in control. It's, you're not in touch with your compassion, with your love for the universe and other people, because everybody else walking out there you're part of the same energy. You're part of that same energy. So to conflict against it, or to, call names or tell somebody off or debate, really lowers the vibrational frequency for all of us. So it's our job. It really is our job. We did come down here to accomplish certain goals. And it is our job to clear that out. And to, instead of when you feel anger or bad feelings against somebody else, ask yourself where that's coming from. It's not coming from a place of peace and clarity, I'll tell you that. So that's why people are like amazed that I can get these comments that come over. By the way, a lot of them I just don't even post because it's just so, negative. Not always about me, but just comments in general. If they're of a negative nature, I don't want to spread that to other people too. So I will delete them and usually block those people if they're out of line. But occasionally I'll let them come through, and I realize there's no reaction on my part in a negative way. It's like, wow, it's interesting to see where they're coming from, and that they're like seeing the world so negatively, and that their life must not be in a very good place. Their ego certainly isn't. So that's usually blaming other people too. So when you're looking at somebody else, it's like, you are my problem. You make me feel this, or you're, like this lady said, I was obnoxious, and she basically hates me. I just want you guys to know I find this stuff entertaining. Because when I read it, I go, wow, this is a very unhappy person. I really feel for her, because we've all been in that place where you just don't like anybody. And if there's anybody at all that does anything that hits a chord with you, and who knows what it was, I can't be sure, because I can't imagine an ad would be that earth-shattering for her that she has to email me a couple times. By the way, the second email was about this long. And I did find it really funny. But I find it funny, but at the same time, I do feel compassion for people like that, because, we've all been lost. We've all been lost. I've been in deep, dark places before. And, sometimes you don't feel like there's a way out. And you look at other people as part of the rotten world that's making you unhappy. And, that's a difficult place to be in, but it's not insurmountable. So if you're feeling negatively toward other people, even if it's just one individual, you got to ask yourself, what is that, what's happening there that's causing you suffering. It's really suffering, because when you're feeling any kind of anger or striking out, there's some suffering going on. Where's that coming from and why? And that is your message to you, that you need to work on that with you, not the other person. There's always going to be some jackass out there that says something stupid. So you just have to say, okay, if that's really making me feel negatively, why? Why? There's something going on there, and explore that. Explore it. You will be amazed at what you might come up with, and it's like, wow. Okay, sometimes it's the weirdest thing somebody will say, and you go, wow, I'm like feeling weird about that. What is it? What did they say? And you might go back and say, wow, that's still bringing up feelings that I need to release. And the whole point is not to, go into some deep, dark psychoanalysis. The whole point is to recognize things that you can release. And when they show up again, instead of fueling it and getting involved in the debate, getting angry and blaming other people for you not feeling good, that is absolutely not true. You're in control. You may not be in control of what other people do, but you're in control of how you feel about it. Oh, so I'm sorry, there's no getting out of that one. Yeah, but he makes me angry and she makes me. No, you make you. They're just doing stuff. You're the one that decides how you feel and think and react to that. And that's can be a daunting task for a lot of people, but that is your mission. That's your thing you got to start focusing on and say, okay, I do have that. It does show up. What is that? And why is it maybe particular things that set you off? Those are your triggers. That is conditioning. And until you recognize it, take responsibility for it, it's going to keep showing up. So if you're thinking negatively about other people, I'm not saying you're like, oh, I love everybody and oh, yeah, bless you and whatever. It's just that if somebody's doing something and it's, it's bad, it's, of negative nature, if there's nothing you can do to remedy the situation in a positive, peaceful way, hopefully, then, you need to walk away and remove yourself and not fuel it, not be an enabler. If you're in a negative relationship, you have to ask yourself why. You're participating in that. So, like attracts like is very true. That frequency that you are on is going to attract other positive people. So if you are focusing on those negative people, debating with me, you're not going to debate with me. I can't even say it because I won't get involved in that. You're allowed your opinion. You don't have to convince other people of that. They feel just as strongly about what they think as you do. That's okay. We're not here to, change everybody's mind. I don't have all the answers. So I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody what they have to do. I'm here to help, and if you like what I say and you want to use this, by golly, do it, and I hope it brings you good things. My message is always to empower people, to help them move past fear. So seek out those positive people and raise your frequency so that you resonate and they resonate with you. And look at everybody else as just part of this dense earth, people that are not in touch with what they really are, that are angry, that have issues they need to work out. That's all it is. And quit listening to the actual words and what they're saying, because that is just a cover-up for deep, deep feelings. And if that's you doing that, then start to go deep inside and say, I need to release this. People are inherently good. They really are. I know it's tough to think that way sometimes, but they really are. And they will be there for you if you're open to that. So be that person. Be that compassionate person that does bless other people. If you can do that, I bless people. I say, you know what? I send you light and love and healing, and then I walk away. Block. All right, anybody who's sending me like porn links, would you knock it off? It's just so stupid. I don't open them. First, it's coming over my YouTube site. You're gonna get nailed. I spam, you know, I put you in the spam. I report spam. So, just want to mention that if you are watching this, and there's some really strange stuff going on out there. All right, sending you light and love, prosperity, abundance, and peace and joy. Namaste.